Capricorn, Sun, Moon, and Rising. These are your messages for the weekend of June 20th through the 22nd. Capricorn, you have some really interesting energy right now. When I was shuffling your cards, the cards just kept jumping out in bunches, and I actually had to stop and knock on the deck to kind of slow the energy up. I feel like you guys are going to have a lot of energy, a lot of almost, I don't want to say nervous energy because it didn't feel negative to me. It just felt really energized. How I've done this spread is the overall energy of the weekend is represented by the Knight of Cups. How you will be feeling is represented by the Knight of Wands. And then the energy that you should embody in order to have the best result is the Hanged Man. And I'll talk about how each, how I would interpret each of those energies. And then I've got some Spirit's advice cards for you as well. But let's start off with the overall energy of your weekend being the Knight of Cups. It's very lovely energy. It could be just a very fun-loving, this knight is very romantic, and he's got that cup there, which is a cup of emotions for something. He's riding to that thing that is, that he's holding those emotions for. So all over, I mean, the overall energy of the Knight of Cups would mean to me like a romantic idealism and an emotional pursuit. You could be feeling very creative. It's a very nice energy. I love the energy of the Knight of Cups. It's, it encourages passionate action. You could be very charming this weekend. There could be some emotional depth coming into your relationships or your interactions with others. And you could be really expressing yourself a bit differently. Maybe, you have more feelings coming up. You're pursuing your dreams with enthusiasm. And with this Knight of Wands is how you're feeling. Definitely enthusiastic energy. The Knight of Wands is very energetic, very fast-moving energy. And it's kind of how I felt with the energy coming up as I was shuffling. That Knight of Wands is just very energetic, intense, fast-moving, driven by desire and ambition. You could be feeling kind of magnetic, or people may be drawn to you magnetically. You'll see you'll start feeling very enthusiastic, I feel like, this weekend. So what's interesting is I was asking for just one card each, and the Judgment card really wanted to come out with the Knight of Wands for how you are feeling. It jumped out, and I kind of felt like I had to take that. So in that combination, when you have that together as feelings, it's a mix of passionate action and deep self-reflection. So I told you in the beginning, this energy is it's very strong energy, whatever it is. There could be some kind of clarity or an awakening or some kind of transformation in your emotions perhaps this weekend, something you're really charging ahead in some kind of emotional aspect of your life, or something is making you feel like there's some big changes coming up. This is all about, a second chance perhaps, or evaluating your past choices. But this energy, these two combined, you've got this energetic, really capable, ready to fly forward, passionate energy here mixed with that Judgment card. I do feel like there's something to be said for them being together. It's a powerful emotional shift, a mix of urgency and a deep realization. So you're going to be compelled to act quickly because of something that you're feeling, some kind of profound feeling that you have. Could be romantic, definitely. Now, here's the thing. In order for the best result, this is the energy that you're supposed to embody. You might not want to hear that because the Hanged Man is all about pausing, patience, a shift in perspective. Sometimes it's about letting go of control. When you see someone strung up like that, you think of them as literally being, his hands look like they're tied, his foot is tied. What I asked is, what energy should they embody for the best result? I think you need to kind of slow down. That energy is more about accepting an openness to allow yourself to pause and reflect, and perhaps even looking to see where things might need to change. And I say that because when the Hanged Man he's enlightened. His head is lit up, but also he's looking at things from a different perspective. When you think about standing on your feet and looking at things, they would look totally different if you were looking at them upside down. So it's also a spiritual card. It can mean, things that you might have to sacrifice in order to make the decisions that you're about to make, or the things that you're about to step into. And there has to be, you have to basically kind of wait. It's like it's something urging you to kind of embrace stillness as a tool for transformation. And what wanted to come out with it is the Tower card. So either that's something that is going to really rock your world, kind of taking things slow, or having patience, or there's an energy that, there's something in your, either this could even be in your mind. It doesn't have to be something that's happening outside of yourself, but there could be something, once you take a pause and look at things from a different perspective, that really changes the way that you're seeing something. It's really interesting to have those combined together. And I feel like you'd be kind of embracing the surrender of a transformation. Like I said, it could even be in your mind, your perspective. So it's all about taking a step back, seeing things differently, and accepting some situations require a patience, rather than force, or rather than this energy that you're going to be feeling really strongly. And it's not to say don't move at all. I feel like you're enlightened enough to kind of know, but to have the best result, you will have to kind of have some patience, basically. I feel like, the Tower card can suggest sudden changes, upheaval, breaking down old structures, and it brings about necessary change. But it can be unexpected transformation, and it can clear away things that were illusions, or it can reveal truth. And I feel like that could be happening in your mind when you take a pause to really think about things. So, like I said, the Hanged Man is all about a pause, a surrender, shift in perspective, taking a step back, looking at things differently, accepting that you need to have patience. And when you have those energies together, it's about embracing change with wisdom, basically. And I feel like you guys can easily do that. Like I said, it looks like he's enlightened here. So that being said, Spirit's advice is purification. By purifying your life of negative people, places, and experiences, you attain true peace. So there could be some purifying of even maybe your thoughts or your perspectives. Maybe you have to go through and you're going to start seeing things in a different way. You also got chakra clearing. By clearing your chakras and you open yourself up to profound wisdom. So there's all kinds of free chakra clearings. If you just Google search it, you can find lots. Even look it up on YouTube. There's lots of different meditations you can listen to for chakra clearing. And then it says here, balance work, rest, and play. It's important for you to have fun along with fulfilling your responsibilities. So those things are coming up as Spirit's advice. You also have ceremonies and celebrations. It's a time of important life passages, such as weddings, birthdays, graduations, or anniversaries. You guys are going to have things to celebrate. I do feel like this is very lovely energy. There's going to be some things that you're really happy about this weekend. And you also have multifaceted. There are many layers and dimensions to the situation or person you're asking about. Perhaps that's what this is going to be. Like, if you feel like flying forward in a love circumstance, or really making a decision that will change your life, this Hangman is here to say, like, take a pause, because there's a lot of layers to this, and you really have to look at it from a different perspective. Underneath that is life-changing epiphany or experience. It's a time of big and blessed change for you, and God is supporting you each step of the way. So definitely really strong, powerful energies here that could change and shift your perspective for a long, long period of time. You've got gratitude coming up here and enlightenment. So whatever this is, you are enlightened. You will definitely be able to understand things. If you did feel any confusion, I feel like that's going to be dissipating, and you're very enlightened. Gratitude is here. So that's just to say, always be grateful for the things that you have, and make sure that you are continuing that gratitude, throughout your life, just looking at all the things, the blessings that you have in your life in general. So that's my message for you, Capricorn. I hope you can understand those messages. I know it's a mixed bag. Like I said, there was a lot of energy coming through the cards, so I do feel like you guys are going to be really invigorated this weekend, and can't wait to see how that turns out for you. I hope you have a wonderful weekend. Take care of yourself, and I'll talk to you soon.